approving the resolution that will establish our bicentennial committee. The intent of the committee is to help celebrate the state of Alabama's 200 years. By doing this, you will establish a committee which will help promote, plan, and execute the commission's educational and cultural initiatives to help commemorate the bicentennial of the state of Alabama.
All right, thank you, Bruce. I'll move to approve the resolution establishing Northport's Bicentennial Committee, which consists of, make sure I got it right, Ms. Whitney Dubose, Chuck Gordeau, both will co-chair. The committee will also consist of Mr. David Pass, Kim Broughton, Crystal Buck, Councilman Jay Logan, Ashley Gill, Nancy Dawkins, Scott Stevens, and Mayor Donna Aaron. And again, a representative from Kentucky will also be appointed. This group, of course, will meet and decide what it will accomplish to help uplift our city and the state during this historic time of the bicentennial celebration. So that's in a long form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Councilman Rose.
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing our Northport's Bicentennial Committee to seek grant funds from the 2018 Alabama Community Grant Application process. Mr. Higginbotham.
Yes, sir. This, I guess based on your newly formed committee, we will have the opportunity to look for grant funds throughout the state to help fund some of the celebrations and items that the committee deems appropriate over the coming year. We anticipate there being possibly even some no-cost grants out there for the city of Northport as well. And we would like to proceed with pursuing some of these grants.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the resolution approving the Northport's Bicentennial Committee to seek grant funds from the 2018 Alabama Community Grant Application. That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Councilman Rose. Councilman Sullivan. Motion carries.
Item 3 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator to renew the annual contract with Motorola Solutions for the maintenance of the public safety radio communication system. Chief Burton.
Yes, this is the annual maintenance contract for the Motorola, the radio system that we currently use. I think the total fiscal budget for impact for the year is a little under $140,000. But this is just a quarterly payment of around $40,000, I believe.
All right. Is there a motion to approve that resolution authorizing our administrator's office to renew that contract with Motorola Solutions and approve the requisitions for the costs?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Rose. President Logan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4 is a resolution adopting the Northport Municipal Water Pollution Prevention report. This is out of Mr. Webb's office, but Mr. Higginbotham will give us a brief report.
Yes, sir. We're required by the Alabama Department of Environmental Management to provide an annual report. What this is our municipal water pollution prevention report. Basically what this does is outline our plans, our schedules for pollution prevention. This could go as far as replacing pumps, continuing maintenance, rehabilitation, things of this nature. It could be on our gravity sewer system. It even goes as far as looking at what we're going to do along GIS in the future as well. And this is an annual report that we provide ADM.
All right, thank you. I'll move to adopt the resolution adopting the annual municipal water pollution prevention report. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing now, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Rose. Yes. Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing the city administrator's office to execute an agreement pertaining to the Lake Lurleen radio tower. Mr. Davis.
Yes, Mr. President. This is the long-awaited agreement between Mount Olive Volunteer Fire District, West Alabama Amateur Radio Society, and the city to allow them access to the city's Lake Lurleen public communications tower. It took a while for us on the city side, not on their side, but on the city side to do our due diligence, to work some things out with the state. And also, they have, I would say they've asked us to do this at no cost to them, but they've spent quite a bit of money. They have done a frequency study to make certain that the location of these antennas on the city's tower would not interfere. They've done that at their expense. They are buying these 2 radio antennas at their cost, and will have them installed by the Motorola installer that we used at their cost. And the only cost to the city will be a little bit of electricity that they'll have some repeater stations in the building adjacent to the tower. But this will only be used for non-commercial purposes, and what it does, it gives us redundancy for emergencies through the West Alabama. If other radio systems are out, it's very helpful like that, as they were with the Tuscaloosa tornado some, I guess, 7 years ago now. And then also with our fire department, with the volunteer fire department in Mount Olive. We appreciate their willingness to extend and all of Rod Robertson's help in getting this accomplished, so that they get this done at no cost to the city. And they've been very helpful, and we appreciate their patience.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to adopt that resolution?
Before we make a motion, I just want to say, Rob and the entire team that helped push this, thank you so much. This is huge for that area, very beneficial to get that coverage on the western side. And like I said in the pre-meeting, apologize for the delay. Thank you for your patience. I'm very happy we're here today to move forward on this. This is a great partnership, and we certainly look forward to that continued partnership. So, Mr. President, I will gladly make a motion for this.
All right. That's a motion by Councilman Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Rose, President Logan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6 is a resolution allowing Academics in Motion Incorporated to access the Hassan Center. Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir. I mentioned this earlier. This can be passed tonight. This would allow me to give Mr. Washington a key to the Hassan Community Center, so that he can start getting estimates and have access as the city fine-tunes the actual sale of the property to him. Hopefully we'll have that ready for you to vote on at the next council meeting.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Consent agenda, folks, we have 12 items. They range from minutes of the previous meeting, 13 items. Minutes from the previous meeting, bill listing, travel and training, and of course a PO requisition for some pump replacements at Montgomery Farms. Again, dual pump system up there. We're basically replacing one and ordering parts for the other. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Rose,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 9 is reports of special committees to council. We have none to report. We will get with Councilman Rose and see what committee he may want to serve on. Vast wealth of knowledge there, so we'll get with him and see where his skill sets will be most needed. So unless mayor or council had any report from their respective committee.
One thing I can say from retail committee is the Harbor Freight coming to Northport is looking good right now. Their demolition and getting ready for construction. And then also still good dialogue with the checkers that will be going in the old Payless location on 82. They've been working with the city, so something soon that as well.
All right. Item 10 is public hearings. We have none on the agenda. Item 11, city administrator's business. Mr. Higginbotham.
Yes, sir. As discussed, we do have the upcoming League of Municipalities meeting, and there is the Alabama League annual business session that we do need to nominate a delegate and a first alternate as well. I know we've discussed this, and I would think that we can, and I may ask Ron, can we do both of those in the form of one motion, Ron, just as our, or do we have to do
I'd
them
do
separate?
two, I'd do two different
You'd go ahead and do
motions,
two? Okay. I would ask that you consider first then the actual voting delegate for this session. If you remember, it's Saturday, May 19th at 1 o'clock in Montgomery.
I will make a motion to nominate Jay Logan as the voting delegate.
All right, we want to separate that one, meaning we'll vote on that one name and then we'll vote on the next one, right? All right, there's a motion for Jay Logan as the voting delegate in the 2018 Annual Convention for the League of Municipalities. Motion by Councilman Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Sullivan?
Yes.
Councilman Hogg?
Yes.
Councilman Rose? President Logan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Rodney Sullivan as the first alternate voting delegate for the 2018 Annual Convention of the League of Municipalities. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan?
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan?
We had a second by Councilman Hogg. Yep.
All right, Councilman Hogg?
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan?
Yes.
Left. Councilman Rose?
Got confused.
Paper cut off?
Absolutely. Motion carries, though.
All right, thank you. Item 12, departmental business. We have one item under our legal department. Mr. Davis, we have a claim that needs to be addressed, number 18-31.
Yes, sir. It's the unanimous recommendation, of the Claims Committee, that this claim in the amount of $900 be paid. A city water main broke, causing damage to the contents of a residence. It was the city's fault, so the claim should be paid.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the claim based on the unanimous recommendation from the claim committee?
Approved.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Sir, Councilman Hogg?
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan?
Yes.
Councilman Rose?
Yes.
President Logan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 13 is public comment. We have 3 citizens signed to speak. Our first one is Mr. Alan Sanford. Thank you, Mr. Sanford. Please state your name and address for the record.
Alan Sanford. I reside at 2183 Highway 43 North, Northport, Alabama 35475. I previously addressed well, first let me stop. I thank each and every single one of you, mayor, councilman, city administrator. I appreciate all y'all do for the city of Northport, the sister city of Tuscaloosa, and the surrounding community of Tuscaloosa County. I was previously here in October with business regarding Warrior Baseball, and the fact that they had not filed the 990 in 3 years and were placed on the automatic revocation list in May of 2017, making them no longer a nonprofit organization. I've got a few facts here. Warrior Baseball was indeed, and I confirmed it, and I have the IRS checklist, the select check for Warrior Baseball. It says here that Warrior Baseball Incorporated, which is P.O. Box 291, Northport, Alabama, it says exemption type was 501c3, was revoked as of 15th May 2017, and it was posted to the public in 2018, February the 12th. Lance Ridley was addressed at that hearing. If you remember, Councilman Hogg asked him to come up, and he addressed him as being president of the league, but in fact he was treasury, and Lance Ridley made no regards to correct that, and he continued as though he was the president of the park. He was indeed a board member, but he was just a treasury or marketing, or he was not exactly up there. But he made a claim that Warrior Baseball's paperwork was indeed in order, but that's a lie. I just showed you that in 2017 they had failed to file for 3 years, and they currently, I checked today before I came in here, are still no longer a nonprofit organization. It says the city of Northport provides approximately $25,000 a year to a now private organization I'm not sure the status of those funds as of now, but I know that there's been some communications between myself and some of the some of the councilmen, and I know there's been some others that have talked with councilmen. City of Northport also provides water to Warrior Baseball, which is now a private organization operating under the veil of false pretense of a nonprofit organization. Warrior Baseball's 2018 budget magically, after I came in here and asked them to provide the 990 or any kind of financial information, and they provided a profit loss to the city. However, their budget from 2017 to 2018 drastically changed and showed a $20,000 capital improvement fund from 2017 and 2018, and that even differs from the profit loss that they turned into the city in October. These are vast numbers, huge numbers that have just disappeared over the last 3 years. We can only speculate where they went because Warrior Baseball has failed to file their tax documentation. It says Warrior Baseball, they still operate on the premises, but the premises are dilapidating. They have a wall that they still not repaired. They have pitching mounds that are rotten. They have termites in them. The artificial turf is falling off of them, yet they have a $20,000 capital improvement fund for 2018. I would like to see improvements if they turn those kind of numbers in. And if you would like to see those budgets, I just so happen to have them with me right here. Of note, capital improvement, $20,000. I'll turn that in when I get through speaking. But they have wildly different numbers in their budgets from 2017 and 2018, and we cannot confirm them because they've not filed a 990, like I said, over and over and over. This organization has lied to this council. They've come up here, gave the false pretense that they were a nonprofit organization. The city is donating private citizens' funds, the council's funds. We have businesses, Alabama One, that's providing funds to Warrior Baseball under the false pretense that they're a nonprofit. We have people in the organization. I directly asked one of the board members, I said, you're no longer a nonprofit organization. I said, don't you think you need to let the people here know? And he said, we're not going to make that information public, but if someone comes and asks, we'll tell them. That's a false pretense. Again, Warrior Baseball, as far as I know, does not have a business license. If they're no longer a nonprofit organization, doing $250,000 a year, and again, I cite Warrior Baseball's 2017, 2018 budgets of $253,000 plus and $243,000 plus. This is a $250,000 business operating under a false pretense on City of Northport property, which has a lease agreement. I'll get to that in a minute. Warrior Baseball blocks off public property by blocking off the parking lot whenever they hold tournaments, and they take funds from people. I've been to the Kentucky Festival. When you go down there, they don't block the parking lot off. They block off the leased area that Para has over there. I'm pretty sure there's some permits and stuff that have to be involved, whether it be exclusive permits or open permits, non-exclusive permits, when you go to blocking off entrances to public accessed area. Warrior Baseball is leasing one half of the park, and Para is leasing the other. There's a playground, there's a public park, there are public pavilions that are available for any citizen to lease, but Warrior Baseball continually blocks off the entrance and charges a fee. If someone were to reserve that pavilion, would they be subjected to that cost? And how would you know who is and who is not coming in there without an exclusive or a non-exclusive permit? Warrior Baseball also does not pay the rent that is due July the 1st. And I'll show you, I have the lease agreement, by the way, which was not provided to me by the city when I asked for it last time when I was here. But anyways, they don't pay the rent. I think it's $10 per annum due on July the 1st. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think they've ever paid it, ever. According to the lease agreement, Warrior Baseball must also maintain a 501c status. In 2017, May, when they lost their nonprofit status and was revoked, they breached the lease agreement between the city and Warrior Baseball.
Hey, Alan.
I'll let you answer some questions because I know that's a lot of facts.
Well, you brought some information. I will say this in the interest of time to make sure that we all up here can kind of give you the kind of answers that you may be looking for. I will say this is recently I know the council kind of put me on that board just to kind of give the council a direct line of communication about what's going on. We did meet with their board members at the time, maybe a month ago, Councilman Sullivan, Bruce, and myself, and the staff members. Some of the issues I think you might have raised as far as 501, they're in the process of getting that renewed. We know that. We understand where they were what they're trying to do in the future. I do appreciate the fact that you're trying to be due diligent with it, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm trying.
The same budget I think you had, we were presented that same one. So the same information you've got, we've got it. It's just now we're trying. My job is to basically look and see what it is and give council information. So and I don't want to cut you off. I know we got about a 3-minute limit, and I know you got something else you got to say, but I will say this: be measured in what you say, Alan. Just be measured.
Oh, I fully understand that you do measure, and I've had lots of conversations with Councilman Sullivan about this because his boy plays down there at the ballpark, and he's been completely oblivious to some of this stuff that I've brought forth. And Mr. Logan, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've had some conversations with other people where you have not been kept in the light of everything that they've done since y'all made that motion to have someone be a direct line of communication. Am I incorrect there?
Well, when somebody has a tournament, I doubt I know that. That's what that is.
Okay. Well,
I mean that's kind of like, hey, I had a car, you know.
Were you aware that they drafted a new article of incorporation? And
that was in our meeting. They gave us the whole.
Some of those issues were.
Yeah, some of those same issues were brought up in our meeting that we had, the kickoff meeting that we had, Alan. So we're kind of aware of the same thing that you're bringing.
Yeah.
So hey, we want to see this thing grow. We want to see it to prosper. We want to do it the right way. I think, believe it or not, agree or not agree, those guys, when they say that they're going to do something, again, I take a man for his word until I'm proved otherwise. So when they're in the process of going through their 501. After they lost it, hey, look, we're in the process of getting it done. They've given us a time date of midsummer when they're getting it back. So, again, some of the same information you got as far as budgets and things of that nature, we were presented that, and we had a pretty good meeting initially.
Well, two of my biggest concerns are a representative in October, Lance Ridley, stood here and perjured himself not once, not twice, but 3 times to the city council. How many lies does it take from an organization that's renting property from the city before they say they're lying to us, and they may be lying about the next thing? That's one issue. Number 2 is that the lease agreement that the city has, which is standing from 1991, says that they must pay rent. It's due on July the 1st. And it also says that they must maintain a nonprofit status. When they lost nonprofit status in May of 2017, they were in 2 counts of breach of the contract that was signed in 1991. So that's perjury, and it's on record. It's in the Northport Gazette if you want to read it, because Maddie wrote an article and she quoted Lance saying our paperwork is in order, but it clearly was not. And then number 2, they're not paying rent, and they're not maintaining the facilities like they're supposed to, and they're not maintaining their nonprofit status. That's 3 breaches of the contract. That's 2 different facets that they're not doing what they're saying they're going to do, yet you're going to continue to take them at their word. They're operating as a private organization under the veil of a nonprofit organization, and we have no way of knowing where, and I can show you in the budget numbers where the budget's changed, the numbers that they turned into the city. It's approximately $43,000 a year that have just vanished.
Can we do this with the
Yes.
interest of time? I know if you got those budget numbers, man, you give them to Bruce Higginbotham's office, and then we can. Will you do that?
Yeah, will you call me or somebody on this? Because last time I came, nobody called me, and I got no resolution, and that's why I'm here. And I said I'd be patient, and I have been 6 months patient.
Give me your number publicly.
My number publicly?
Sure.
Sure, 205-792-6867.
Okay.
Anybody can call me. I may not answer, but you know.
All right. Hey, Alan, what I'll do is if you'll get that information to Bruce, and again, without Warrior being here and all that, I don't want to get into that situation like that. I don't think it's fair to the organization. I'm not talking about the people, the organization.
I'm just saying, I just want that ballpark returned to the community, because it's the kids that are suffering. It's not me. I get nothing out of this. None of y'all get nothing out of this. These kids are hurting. There's kids that can't play on proper facilities because they're lying about where they're sending the money, or they're wildly, erratically changing the money, and they're lying to the city of Northport, using the city of Northport's property to do it. That's my problem.
Well, let's do this. I think we all agree we want that program to prosper just like we want everybody else's to prosper. So let's work on that then. If you'll get that to Bruce, if it's something new information, definitely we're going to sit down and look at it.
I will.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Second citizen, Eddie Larry.
President Logan, thank you for the opportunity to speak, Mayor Aaron. I thank the entire council tonight for their support in amateur radio in our community. My name is Eddie Larry. My address is 12587 Middle Creek Drive, out in Coker, Lake Lurleen area. On behalf of the Mount Olive Volunteer Fire Department, the West Alabama Amateur Radio Society, and I am a member of both, I would like to thank you very much for your support in approving this resolution tonight to let our groups utilize the Lake Lurleen radio tower. It will greatly enhance the public safety, and it's we've been out before and couldn't, especially after the tornado when we lost radio systems. We said we're trying hard to improve our communications capabilities in Tuscaloosa County, and this will really go a long ways to do that. I'd like to thank Rob Robertson. One time we had this concept of doing this and trying to make this happen, he's been very supportive. He's been behind us 100%, and our groups are behind him. Every time that a bad storm comes through the county, we're there at the EMA and providing the assistance that whatever he needs to help during those emergency times. We'd also like to thank there's several groups, because this is a fairly expensive proposition for us, and our group cannot by itself afford to do this. But the Mount Olive Fire Department has been instrumental in making this happen. The West Alabama